You're not on the field, court, or ice. You are on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Good evening and welcome to Coaching from the Couch, live from the WBGR Sports Network studios. I am your host, CWall. Happy Thursday to you all. So glad to have you all joining us this Thursday. As we all know, there is not ever a dull moment in DC sports. So in the studio with me, I have Sabrina and Matt and Joy, members of the CWall team. We are locked in. We are so ready to talk about all of just the drama that is DC sports. But before we get started, I need you all to do us a huge favor. Make sure you are sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. Okay? So, let me see if I can jump on and see who's on line. And we can go ahead and get started. So, where to start first? We got so much going on. First, let me say this. Last week, I neglected to give a shout out to the Maryland Terrapins basketball teams, both of them. Shout out to them for, having great seasons. The reason why was just so much going on last week, and I really wanted to mention Maryland, their loss to LSU. I guess that was maybe 2 Saturdays ago now. They had a good run. They had a really good run. And there's still high hopes for Maryland next season. So we'll see what happens. They only have one senior on their roster, Ivan Bender. So Ivan, we want to shout you out and thank you for some great years as a Maryland Terp. We're going to miss seeing you around. You've been awesome. Thank you so much. So there's only one senior, but of course, as rumor has it, some folks may declare for the draft. So Bruno Fernando, sophomore power forward, is actually rumored to potentially be a part of the, go ahead and declare for the NBA draft, as well as freshman Jalen Smith. So not sure if Jalen is going to. I would love to see Jalen come back, and think maybe it might be a little too soon for him to declare, but you never know. Hey, do what you do what's best for you and your family. So it remains to be seen if Bruno and Jalen end up declaring for the draft. But hey, best of luck to them. If not, we're on next season. And that's one of the great things about Maryland's basketball team is that they have a young team. So there's a lot of promise there. But if we have folks declaring for the draft, who knows what may happen. At any rate, kudos to you all. And my apologies for not shouting you all out last week in a more timely manner. Georgetown Hoyas update. Got to shout out Georgetown senior Jesse Govan. Jesse was selected to play in the 2019 Reese's College All-Star Game. This annual game features 20 of the most outstanding senior players in NCAA Division I. Yay, Jesse! So yes, he will be playing for the East All-Stars. Their coach is former NBA star Nate Robinson. They're playing tomorrow at 3:30. It will be broadcast on CBS Network. It's part of the Final Four festivities this weekend in Minneapolis. So I think that will be all good tomorrow, and best of luck to everyone playing. So shout out to Jesse. Great season. Now, since we're talking about March Madness, I had already talked bad about we got to switch. Even though this is DC Sports, we definitely got to switch really quick and still do the March Madness update. Because as you know, it's coming in on the first weekend of April. So what does that mean? We are coming up on Final Four weekend, and the national championship is on Monday. So I already told y'all, my bracket was tore down. It was tore down to shreds. So it's no need. I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. I did have Duke be the national champion in my bracket, and I think I may have shared a bit last week. After that second round game, was it the second round? Yes, the second round game versus UCF, I had already felt in my heart of hearts that Duke was not the national champion this year. I was like, you know what? This is not even a good look for them. I don't even think they're headed here for the national championship. But of course, you can't change your bracket. Once you're in it, you're in it. So that is what that is. But my bracket was in shreds anyway. But over the weekend, everybody was feeling very good about that Sweet 16. People were happy. Everybody's like, I got 15 out of 16. I got 13 out of 16. Everybody all happy. Mine was been sad. So it was okay. But everybody else was feeling good. Then that Sweet 16, everybody was looking real bad after that one, because I'm going to tell you, out of all of those games, and I said this last week, every single team in that Sweet 16 was very deserving of being exactly where they were. But it was such a even, almost level playing field. Especially once they got to be playing these games, you're like, man, these guys, they're balling, they're great. The biggest shock was probably the North Carolina Tar Heels. And I'm not just picking on them because I'm a Duke fan. I'm just saying that because the manner in which they lost was not at all what I was anticipating. Nobody. So that was, nobody was anticipating that drag down, beat down that they received last Friday. Nobody was looking at that. But at the same token, everybody just balled out. By the time it got to the Elite Eight, everybody was in shock. Oh, yeah. Was like, what is happening? Right? So, I gotta say, who do we have? We got Texas Tech, who, if you were asleep, you didn't notice that they had a really good season. They were ranked, they were probably in the top 15, I think, the whole season. They're out there in the Big 12 with Kansas. See, Kansas normally is the one to beat in the Big 12, but Kansas lost a lot of their starting players, so they were not as good as they had been projected to be. Texas Tech had been consistent. They had been doing very well, and so they slipped right on in there. Then we got Michigan State, right, who took my Blue Devils down. Then we got Auburn, and the lone number one seed left, Virginia. The Cavaliers down the street. Right over the Wilson Bridge. Whichever way you like to go. Virginia, okay? So, I got to shout out my line sister. My line sister, soror, Alicia Parks. And here's why. Because Alicia's bracket is good. Her bracket is good. And she's got Michigan State. She's got Michigan State winning it all. So I'm going to say this. I feel like Michigan State, I watched them when they played LSU. I watched that game. And then I watched them, the Duke game. Michigan really looks like the most complete team in this Final Four. They do. They look good. So my line sister is right. That was good. That was a good call. But I got to shout her out because this is my bracket group. So I'm at the bottom. I told you I don't mind telling people because people gonna see it anyway. They know. So I'm not like I'm hiding anything. But at the end of the day, Alicia gonna end up winning the bracket group regardless. But I'm going to go ahead and rock with my line sister and say Michigan State. Now, if I look crazy on Saturday night, y'all going to remember, be like, that daggone, she didn't know what she was talking about again when it came to that. But hey, I'm rocking with my LS on this one. And I think it's a really good, I mean, Michigan State. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's not a bad pick at all. Those games are Saturday evening starting at 6. Auburn versus Virginia at 6:09. Then Texas Tech versus Michigan State at 8:49. And then the national championship is Monday night at 9. And you all, if you did not know this about me, one thing I live for is one shining moment. That's all I care about. All I care about is the Luther Vandross version of one shining moment when they show all of the highlights. That's all I care about. That's it. Let me shout out because at the beginning of March Madness, we did a short segment on DMV players, folks from the DMV in the men's and women's tournament. So, playing in the Final Four, we have 2 young ladies playing in the Final Four that are from here. Sophomore, Notre Dame sophomore, Michaela Vaughn. Good luck to you. And Baylor senior, Chloe Jackson. Good luck to both of you all. So when it comes to the women's tournament, I'm rooting for Notre Dame and Baylor. They both number 1 seeds. So I'm just gonna vote. I'm just going for everybody because I want the home team to win. We're gonna bring something home. So maybe they'll bring it home for us.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It would be absolutely awesome. So, all right. Enough about the collegiates for a moment. Oh, Lord. I don't know which one. Let's talk about the one that let's talk about the team that does not frustrate me at the moment. The Caps. Let's just go ahead on. See, let's say whatever is going on in DC sports, don't let it make you confused and make you forget that the Washington Capitals are the 2018 Stanley Cup champions, okay?
That's right.
We do have a championship in this town. We got to stop being so sad. Why are we so sad around here? We won something last year. The Valor won too, didn't they? And then then the Mystics went to the championship. They didn't win, but they win.
Now you're reaching.
but they win. We ain't all bad around here.
Yeah, we got one little bit of bragging rights.
We got a little bit of bragging rights. Not much. But give me a little bit of rope, please. Not to hang myself, but I'm just saying. Good Lord. Like, you got to give us some credit around here, okay? So, tomorrow for the Caps, tomorrow is Wear Red Day. So wherever you are, wear red, then tag on Twitter and Instagram, tag the Capitals and hashtag all caps is Wear Red Day. Show your appreciation for the Caps. They're actually playing Montreal right now. They could actually clinch the division. So they already clinched a playoff berth last week, right? So tonight they could actually win their 4th consecutive Metropolitan Division, right? And then that would be their 9th division title win in 12 seasons. See, we ain't all bad around here, y'all. We got to start talking about what's good.
That's right.
The Caps are our only hope. Let me stop. That's all we got. But anyway, so I'm going to ride that one until the wheels fall off because we're doing bad elsewhere, y'all. Good Lord. So, another update really quick. Let me go back to it. Hold on with the Caps. So, very cool. Very, very cool thing. The Caps are launching an augmented reality game. It's called Tilt the Ice. It's presented by Bud Light and it was built by Balti Virtual. So in order to play, you have to get these coasters. This is all Caps Fan Week, by the way. April 1st through the 7th. So you can, even if you're at the games, one was yesterday, one is tomorrow, you can get these coasters. And you can get them at any of the area bars too. But you need to get an app, AR8, AR, the number 8. And it's like a 3D interactive virtual reality game that you operate as the goalie, and you see how many saves you can get by the end of the game. So you're playing this thing the whole entire game. It's supposed to be super duper cool. And there's several bars, DC area bars. And y'all can Google this too, but I'm going to share it with you all. You can go to Bar Deco, Penn Commons, Clyde's, Iron Horse, Fido, Rocket Bar, Fuel Pizza, the Irish Channel, Buffalo Billiards, Hooters, Penn Quarter Sports Bar, literally Bar Louie, Capitol Lounge, Budweiser Brew House, Mad Hatter, everywhere around Capital One Arena. You can go and get this coaster to play this augmented reality game. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I thought it was very cool, the whole idea and thought behind it. The Caps are really pushing it. So, hey. And it's a way for you to get into hockey, too. I'm telling you, man. Look, the Caps, maybe they get that championship flow going. A couple weeks ago, I was like, I don't know about these guys. I don't know about this. But they might be back. Because last year, we had no idea they would want to do what they did. And it worked out in everybody's favor. Because when they win, we all win. So go check out that augmented reality game. I think it's very, very cool. So that would be awesome. Now, let's get to the drama. All of the good news is gone. So let me start. All of the good news is dwindled away. I don't have nothing else. Say no, that's not all the way true. I do have some good things to talk about. Bryce Harper, I told you I wasn't going to talk about him anymore until he came back to DC. Well, he came back, and by now that you know, he came back on Tuesday. Okay? I was about to say the Wizards. Not them yet. Back that out of my mind, Jesus. The Nats and the Phillies played Tuesday and Wednesday, which the Nats ended up splitting that 2-game series with the Phillies. And what I want to share is I was at both of those games, and the fans booed Bryce every time he got up there. Like, no holds barred booed, right? Mm-hmm. So everyone knows Max Scherzer, dynamite pitcher, starting pitcher. And Tuesday, when Max was pitching, he struck Bryce out twice. Struck him out. He wasn't, and the crowd just erupted. Now, let me be clear. There were a lot of Phillies fans there, but that's kind of like, other than Caps games, the thing about it is, here in D.C., in this area, when you go to the D.C. teams, arenas where they play, there's a lot of opposing team fans there. There just is what it is. The Phillies have always had a lot of fans here, but of course it was a lot. It was like they had like 3 whole sections over there in the right field. What is that, like 139 or something at Nats Park? Whole section. They was just cheering for Bryce every time he walked out there. But most of the time, whenever Bryce went up there to bat, the boos just erupted. And it was the same thing yesterday. Because I was like, okay, Wednesday's a 1:00 game. They're probably not going to boo him as much. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all Nats fans are crazy. I am too. But y'all off the hook. Because I was like, oh, they going to really... But I knew it was just a matter of time. When Max went out the game, I said, oh, dear Lord, he's going to hit home runs for the rest of the night. And that's what happened. Bryce lit Nats Park up. I'm going to just be honest. He lit it up. Okay, good for him. That was great. His hair looked nice, as it always does. Neat and in place. That was depressing. Which leads me to say, the Nats did win yesterday, and they played the Mets today, and they shut out the Mets today. Last Thursday, opening day, we talked about how the Mets had shut out the Nats. Well, the Nats shut the Mets out today. Good for them. But I was in full-fledged panic mode Tuesday night and Wednesday morning because Max Scherzer can't be the only... Our starting pitcher he can't be the only person that's going to get a player like a Bryce Harper. we had an issue with the Nats last year. It's that the bullpen is not very good. And guess what? They're still not very good. And that has nothing to do with Bryce. Everybody's making this about a Bryce thing. You're going to miss the excitement of Bryce. I know the game today went much better. Like I said, they won yesterday, and the game went down to the wire, and it was great for Nats fans. It was cool. The Phillies did not come in here and just sweep the Nats, which was good, right? Then they go up to the Mets, and they shut them out today. So we're good. But one of the questions my guy Mike Smith asked online was like, are we still in panic mode or nah? And for me, I'm absolutely still in panic mode because I just don't trust the bullpen. I don't trust the bullpen. Things will get better. It's like 150 something odd games left. So there's a lot of baseball to be played, right? There's just a ton. But defensively, I feel like obviously today they shut out the Mets. Okay, so defensively, you did what you were supposed to do. No wildness going on with the pitching, I suppose, because I'm telling you, they got somebody in the bullpen. I got to bring his name up. I didn't want to do this, but that Trevor Rosenthal, please. Oh gosh, every time I see him now, I just close my eyes and pray, because then the Nats gonna start losing by 15 points. Well, maybe not 15, 4. You know, it's going to be bad when he gets out there. I'm like, oh, dear Lord. And it's just not good. It's not good. So they have to figure that out. There's still a lot of game left, sure. But the base running still isn't right. They're making some poor decisions around the bases. I just want to see more consistency. And I just don't know yet. Again, we're still very early in. But who's going to be the difference maker? Who's going to be the hitter that we know? Oh, we straight now because, he had the bat. Boom, we got it. We good. And they still working that out. Because I'm going to tell y'all, I wasn't feeling too good about this. I said, oh, we're short. We're about to be screwed. Because this is going to be a long season. And baseball is already long. But I think if they can figure out this bullpen, because pitching is very important. The bullpen is very, very important. And figure out the kind of the system, if you will, and who comes in and who comes out, and being able to read the other opponent and the batters. There's some pitchers that just don't line up. They just shouldn't be out there, depending on where you are in the game. I'm gonna go back to Trevor Rosenthal. With Rosenthal, my thing is this: he shouldn't get put in the game unless the Nats are up by 10. That's how bad he is. Because when he goes out there, the other team is guaranteed 4 runs. Period. They come across home base when he out there. Seriously. I was so upset.
Hashtag Trevor Rosenthal.
Right. He could have got a whole hashtag to himself. And not in a positive way either. That's what makes it bad. Because I want to like everybody. I want to root for everybody all the time. But one thing I say, and you all will hear me say this, I say this to other people, I remind myself of this. You do not let your fandom cloud your judgment. If you got somebody on your team that stinks, you got to say, they're not very good. They stink. They're not good. And then you got to just admit it and deal with it and pray. If it stinks, it stinks.
Find another spot.
You got to find another spot for him. Maybe he could be the person that drives people from the bullpen. But you cannot get out the car. The little cart, don't you get out. Let somebody else get out. I'll get out. Because that's how bad it is.
Let somebody else play.
That's how bad it is. And I want him to do better. I'm going to, try to root for him. But good Lord. Whew. I think they're going to get in to really start playing baseball. They got to limit the mistakes because your girl was over here like, oh, no. We're done. But they did all right yesterday, and they did all right today. So we gonna see how it goes. It's a long season, But if we're all seeing some of these things now, if we see it, everybody else see it too. You know, my God, I mean, whoo, I wasn't doing too well out there with Trevor Rosenthal. We talking about him, Lord Trevor. I want you to do well. I do, but Lord. So anyway, anywho, let's go Nats. They won today. They won yesterday. Can they get a little streak going? Who knows? Let's see. Now, Bryce Harper to DC. They split that series. Good job, Nats, for not getting swept by the Phillies here. First weekend. Then something happened in the District of Columbia that I just never thought would ever happen. On Tuesday, it was April the 2nd, and something came across my phone that said Ernie Grunfeld had been relieved of his duties as the Wizards president. And I said, what day is it? Is it April Fool's Day? I had to go and look. I had to look at a calendar. And I had to go back and look. And look. And lo and behold, Ernie finally got fired. I can't believe it. 16 years. 16 years of a whole lot of nothing. That man finally, Ted said, get out of my house. Finally. I can't believe it. But at the same token, and that was 2 days ago, and I'm still just, wow. Hold on. I can't believe I skipped this. Let me check myself real quick. Before we really get into the drama, can we shout my man Bradley Beal out for becoming the first Wizards player with 2,000 points, 400 rebounds, and 400 assists in a single season? Go ahead, shout out to BB3.
Yeah.
BB3 before we get into the rest of the drama. So that was quick break. Shout out to BB3. Ernie got fired. So listen, I was like, so
Hashtag Ernie's out of here.
Ernie's out of here. It was hashtag fire Ernie for about 15 of them 16 years he was here. And you know, the only other executives in the NBA that have a longer tenure, Pat Riley, R.C. Buford, Don Nelson, and Danny Ainge, all of whom have won titles along the way. One thing that came to my mind when this happened is the whole thing around when folks started talking about tanking and if the Wizards were going to tank. And Ted said, no, there will be no tanking. Nobody wants to tank, everybody. No professional wants to tank.
Right.
But everybody always said it was like the only thing Ernie had to do was make the playoffs. That was it. And you got Ted Leonsis, an owner who's coming off of a championship victory with one of his other teams. And then he actually got one too with Devala. Let's be for him, he did. Yep. So now, in my mind, I'm like, Ted probably don't want to hear all that. If he said playoffs, he meant playoffs. And if you're not going to get it done, and we've been here before, you got to go. Now, it seems like the mood and the aura around the center or the arena is like this was a complete shock. Like, people did not see this coming. They probably did. I mean, it's not like there was a high bar to reach. And I mean, I can't believe it. Fans are happy. Fans are not sad to see Ernie go. They are very, very happy.
They need a shake-up.
And the thing about it is they need a shake-up. And you're exactly right, Joy, because why not now to do the shake-up? right? Because, you know, I always laugh, you know, a couple years ago when they won the Southeast Division, and, you know, and I gotta check time, y'all. I need to check time.
Gotcha.
And so they looking, you know, the Southeast Division, Bradley Beal and John Wall, they faced all up on the side of Ben's Chili Bowl, and I knew then, I said, this is about it. You know, John Wall hit that 3-point in Game 6, and I was out here acting like they had won the championship. I'm out here drinking champagne and all kinds of stuff. Like, we really won something, and we wasn't doing nothing but going to Game 7 just to turn around and come back home and eat at Ben's Chili Bowl with Bradley Beal and John Wall face on the side, which was nice. I got a lot of pictures over there. I took a lot of pictures. But now the bar is higher, and so Ernie had to go. And we got so much more to talk about on this topic. And so we'll continue it next week because we are just at about time. So make sure you all share this show with your DC sports fan, loving all the Redskins, Nats, Caps, all that updates. And we will see you all next Thursday.